All right, I want to talk to you today about commandment number 3, and it has to do with your core offer. So this is Matt with SRP Medical Marketing, and I'm breaking down the 10 commandments to running a profitable medical practice. And commandment number three is you have to have a core offer that converts. Now, what is a core offer? How does it work? And I'm going to break that down for you here in the next 5 minutes. So let's talk a little bit about, let's kind of remind you where we are. So this is our stairway to 200K. This is how we grew our clinics from startup to 3 locations within 18 months, each one of them doing on average over $200,000 a month. And in my first 2 commandments, we talked about message to market match. We've moved up this step. And now what we're doing is we're going to be talking specifically about this core offer. This section, in fact, I'll enlarge this for you so you can see it a little bit better. But we're going to be talking specifically about this right here. What is a core offer? How does it work? And why is it so important? So let's talk a little bit about what a core offer is and how this works and why it's so important. So in our clinics, in the erectile dysfunction clinics, our core offer was pretty straightforward. It was come into the clinic one time, meet with the doctor, get a test dose, and if you don't see results within 10 to 12 minutes, the office visit is on us. Now, what that enabled us to do was it enabled us to get people in, and we had a great proof of concept. So a core offer has to be really simple, right? It has to solve a big pain issue. And it also should allow them to be able to test and see what your practice is like, what your culture is like, how your procedures are and everything before they go to that next level of having more to do with you. And so, in fact, I'm going to go here. There we go. And so, not all of you are in the erectile dysfunction space. If you are in things like regenerative medicine, this might be a little bit more of a challenge, but let me give you some examples that work really, really well. So for example, let's say that you work primarily with women and you eventually want women to do, say stress urinary incontinence for light bladder leakage, or you want them to do HRT, or you want them to do they're dealing with vaginal dryness or whatever, or maybe laser for their face or something like that, or you're doing P-shot. All of those offers, like the laser for light bladder leakage or O-shot or using PRP or anything like that, those are a little bit harder front end because, women aren't necessarily going to, they've got to know, like, and trust you. In order for people to buy from you, they have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you. And when it comes to fixing light bladder leakage, or when it comes to fixing erectile dysfunction, there's a big trust factor. And for many of you, you're like, well, I don't have a lot of testimonials. My patients haven't been giving them, which I'll talk about that in a future video. But there's things that you can do to get people to come in. So let me give you a really great example of this. One of the great examples is we utilize, in the female space, we will utilize buy one, get one Botox. Now, Botox is going to run you $6, $7, $8 a vial or $10 a vial, just kind of depending on how much you do. But a lot of times, what a lot of doctors will do, what we'll coach them on, is how to use Botox as a front end offer. So you can advertise Botox as buy one, get one. Now, you're not going to be making any money on the Botox. Let's be really clear about this, okay? But when you have them in, they get to see and experience what your practice is like. And while they're there, there are other things that you can lead them into. You could lead them into derma fillers. You could do a questionnaire on how they're feeling energy-wise, and if they might be experiencing low hormone levels. You can offer a free blood test for hormone replacement therapy. All of these, the key with all of this is your front-end offer has to be easy to deliver. It doesn't necessarily require you as the doctor to be involved. If it's Botox or fillers, that can be administered by a med tech, right? Or an esthetician, somebody that isn't going to have the same kind of hourly rate, and it's not going to require your time. So what we're doing is this core offer is just to be able to give them a little bit of a taste of what it's like to come into your clinic, to meet with your staff, to meet with you. But the key with all of this is you have to have something that you have to be able to move them up. So going back to this, so if you look at this model right here, the whole point with this core offer at this level is we want to move them into then some form of monthly recurring revenue, or we're going to move them into a high-end or higher-end offer, which is going to be between $2,000 to $5,000. So a front-end offer can be as simple as $97 to $2,000. Again, you're not going to be making a ton of money on this, but the whole key is to have things in place. And as we go through the commandments, I'll walk you through this. You have to have things and processes in place for them to be able to upgrade. Now, I'll give you an example of this in a real live situation. So there's a clinic that we have done work with down in the Florida market, and they do Botox. They do a lot of laser, a lot of Botox. 85% of their clientele is female. Well, in utilizing just buy one, get one Botox, and they are to the place now where they are literally seeing 15 to 20 patients a day doing Botox. I mean, it's literally like an assembly line. And they make zero money on the Botox. But recently in a promotion of theirs, they did over $200,000+ just by offering buy one, get one Botox. Another client of mine in Indiana, exact same thing, utilizing buy one, get one Botox. She's been able to bring patients in and have one of her best months from 55,000 up in 1 month to the next month just by utilizing this by going to 156,000. Okay, so the whole key is you have to have a core offer that brings people in, that gets them into the office, that they can experience what you are like. They can experience this, and then you're going to move them up the ladder. So that's commandment number 3. You must have a core offer that converts, not just a core offer, but a core offer that converts. All right, there will be more coming out in the next couple of days, so enjoy.